Good neighborhood for me is some kind of community where people know each other and respect each other, where people have open hearts.
It's not just houses built together, but people that express themselves and communicate.
Like kind of a extended family, even if you don't see them often, they are still here if you need them.
First of all, when I thought about neighborhood, I was thinking about the European level.
A place that is peaceful, quiet, with beautiful nature.
How do I fit in my neighborhood as well?
A good neighborhood is something you have to work hard to set up, but it's something that we cannot avoid to set up. Otherwise, our world is unlivable and unbearable.
Мене звати Кристина, я приїхала з України.
Здравейте, казвам се Анна Мария, на 18 години и съм от Русе.
Ciao, mi chiamo Riccardo.
Torej, ja sam Petrusza Ursza Koziel.
Je suis Théo.
Nazywam się Martyna Tomas, jestem z Polski.
Donc bonjour, je suis Gabrielle.
Ich bin Lucy und bin bei diesem Projekt, weil ich tanze sehr gerne und tanze auch sehr gerne frei und choreografiere gerne.
J'ai repensé aux visites que je faisais à l'époque à papy de temps à autre. Un employé vit désormais aussi à la maison pour s'occuper d'eux. Il les aide dans les tâches de la vie quotidienne et pour l'entretien de la maison, le jardin.
We had invited the young artists to bring letters about their neighborhood. And in all these letters we felt hope and despair, like we all have at the moment.
Any topic, anything, if you experience it with your body, if you manage to experience it beyond words, if you manage to experience with another layer of your existence, you have a much deeper knowledge of whatever the topic might be.
When I dance with someone, it helps connect me, like, be more honest with the other person and feel more, like, have a more secure relationship with someone that I could maybe reach just with language.
I expect from the project to feel and actually don't feel the differences between people from the different various countries.
We have a wonderful group of young people coming from all over Europe. They have brought materials starting from preparatory workshops that we had together and starting from where they come from, what they have inside themselves, then try to, together, transform this through art into something that can be shared.
The tree rebelled and lost its will to live. I have been feeling the same way lately. There is almost nothing left of it now. But who cares?
When I dance, everything that's not me is my neighbor. The grass is my neighbor, the person standing next to me is my neighbor.
So I see a very huge connection between my dance and the neighborhood because you have to connect and sometimes go away and connect. So yeah, I think it's also to dance like to meet other people.
Quand il prenait ses jambes à son cou, he put his nose everywhere. C'était un charmant voisin. He had a teeth against Etienne. À la tienne, Etienne, to your health, buddy.
Our languages are different and some traditions maybe, and we are here together and we are making a theater place, and we put it in one box and do something bigger and greater.
For us, theater is a sort of city in the city. A theater should be a city in the city, sort of square of the city or market of the city where people exchange stories and feelings and so on.
If I look at the whole planet, then Europe is just one neighborhood.
This is the point where we mix, right?
Where we mix, yeah, because like in the 10 city we will like kind of be around.
Only in relation to the present can the future take place. That's why the future and the past only exist as a function of the present.
Perfetto. And now
And now it's...
You have given the philosophical explanation, and now you bring it to the personal.
I want to understand the other cultures, and they are so amazing, so interesting. And I want to know how they communicate, what are their feelings, and what do we have in common.
I think to express through dancing a political topic, that's what interests me.
During the performance, we talked indeed about opened doors and closed doors, and we discussed a bit why in certain cases the sense of acceptance or the sense of a good communication or cooperation are open. What do we do when they're closed? Well, we asked ourselves the question, why are they closed?
Is it fair that they have such a little space? Well, in this castle, there's so many empty spaces.
You shape your neighborhood, and your neighborhood shapes you.
We get the space and the time here in this 6 days to raise questions and to be able to express them loudly and to create a utopia where on a meta level probably different ways of answers can be found.
Je déteste le monde parce qu'il me ressemble trop. Being angry is my way to express my dissatisfaction with the world and my inability to take part in it.
Neighborhood is a community, and theater is a community that tries to dialogue with another community, and so this bridge between these two worlds is what we did in this workshop.
One of the first days which we arrived here, we said something, it was like, art is not for professionals, art is for everybody. Through art and this piece that we did right here, we found our common language, and yes, that's what I wanted to say.
Perhaps we should give more weight to the space of others, trying not to invade it, but taking care of it.
What do you bring to your neighborhood?
I
bring lasagne.
I bring questions.
I bring
passion. I bring fully
To speculate about neighbors. Unfortunately, as Ukrainian, I have a bad neighbor.
This project and the European Union really changed it so much because they have another values, they have another understanding of neighbors.
What you have done in 6 days. In 6 days, it's crazy. It's really, really huge work. Thank you to have a chance to be close to you all.
To see these young people and to be participating with them in a workshop, it gives me so much hope. This is not just one, experience. This is their power. This is their force. They can go on and, create similar spaces and communities, And this is what we're doing with this project. We're giving spaces that you can then, create and break and create again. And, for me, this is the world that could be.
I want to talk about the common values. As you also in your performance today mentioned, we are all diverse, but we have also common grounds that bring us together. So I want to discuss also with you in the group workshop what happens if we knock the doors of our neighbors. So after discussing this, what is a good neighborhood, then I will ask you to discuss
what are the commonalities?
The first question we had is, where does the neighborhood stop? What are the spatial limits of your neighborhood? And we just found out neighborhood is not in crisis, it still matters, contrary as to what we could read.
How do we think neighborhood in Europe will develop in future?
I wanted to ask, what kind of difficulties do you face when you want to start listening to different people?
I never see black children going to one of these shows. They are not knocking at your door because they don't know that that door can be opened. And you are not trying to get to them. Why? We tried to make elder people speak with younger people. Locals speak with migrant communities. That was a neighborhood. That was the idea of good neighborhood.
What I like about these projects in Genshagen is the fact that all that's different is not kept apart or in separate categories, but all brought together. People, themes, backgrounds, sectors, fields, people from the academy, along with people from the art world, along with politicians. You are welcome to be here and discuss and create. And that's a great example of, I would say, democracy. So a good laboratory for a new word. We need more Genshagens everywhere.
For some of us, it was probably the first time in 2 years after a long pandemic where we just met online through a screen to meet again in touch, in listening to one another through bodies. And it's so wonderful what kind of community and sensibility we formed here.
It's really overlooked in the busy everyday life, the way that you feel. And here it was like therapy, and I was happy all the time.
As when I come here, I was really depressed about my future and this generation future, because our world is really problematic. But now, knowing these people, I really want to go on and see what will happen.
I really opened myself to new languages, new culture, and I'm so proud of myself. Yeah.
It's so important to meet in person, to be together in one room, in one park, and it was really a joy to be in this castle with life, with European youth, because you're so important. You feel the responsibility for the European project, you know, for neighborhood on all the different levels, the responsibility we have for our society, but we have for the globe. And so thank you to all of you.